Senegalese citizens who were stranded in Lebanon have finally returned to their homeland, greeted personally by President Bassirou Diomaye Faye. This repatriation comes in response to the worsening security situation in Lebanon, where many Senegalese workers had been residing. While the immediate crisis has been resolved with the return of the stranded Senegalese, the government is now focused on ensuring their long-term well-being. Here's a report.
Senegal repatriated 117 citizens from Lebanon amid escalating hostilities between Israel and the Hezbollah militant group. Emotional scenes unfolded at the Dakar airport as families welcomed the returnees. Among them, a father who brought his injured daughter home for medical care and described losing his son in a recent explosion in southern Lebanon. Senegal, with its significant Lebanese diaspora community, has historical ties to both Lebanon and Palestine.
It's hard to talk about this. Everything is lost. Lost my son, lost my house. Everything, all my dreams, all my worries, everything. It's hard. What can I even say? You can't imagine. We had a 14-and-a-half-year-old son who just disappeared like that. 10 minutes earlier, I was talking to him. Hello. He said, "Dad, will you come to my event?" I said, "Yes, in September, in February. By the end of February, I'll come for good." 10 minutes later, I get a call. There's no more house, no more son.
As you know, we have quite a number of Senegalese in Lebanon. Lebanon has a very historical, long ties with Senegal. We have a large population of Senegalese. Some of them are Senegalese single nationality. Others have are Senegalese and Lebanese nationality. And we said that, given the situation of really hostilities, bombardments, a lot of displaced people, the government had the responsibility to act.
The repatriation followed a protest in Dakar, where demonstrators, including many from the city's Lebanese community, called for a ceasefire across the Middle East. The demonstrators waved flags and carried banners demanding peace. Protesters expressed concern over the conflict's spread to Lebanon and Yemen. Participants highlighted long-standing ties between Senegal and Lebanon, emphasizing both their Lebanese heritage and Senegalese citizenship. They voiced solidarity with Palestinians and Lebanese affected by the violence. The march featured posters showing destruction in Gaza. Protesters urged stronger international action to stop the violence and criticized what they described as the unequal treatment of Israel in global forums.
Okay, bonjour.
I am here as a Senegalese person, as a humanist, as a citizen of the world. I find that there is a terrible injustice happening in the Gaza Strip, which is expanding to Lebanon and Yemen. We don't know where it will end. As a Muslim, I am particularly affected by the situation. I find it awful.
La résistance est un droit.
Resistance is a right. It's a right. You don't have the right to disarm a country and arm your neighbor. That's an injustice. Either the United Nations is there for all the peoples of the world, or there is no longer any reason for it to exist. There is a double standard, and what is happening in Gaza, what is happening in Palestine is an injustice, and what is happening in Lebanon is an injustice.
Israel has strongly rejected the accusations of genocide, including in a case brought by South Africa at the World Court. It says it is acting in self-defense after an October 7, 2023 attack by Palestinian Hamas militants. The Hamas attack killed 1,200 people, with about 250 also taken as hostage, and triggered a conflict that has since spread from Gaza to Lebanon. Earlier on Saturday, demonstrators marched through Dakar to protest against Israel's actions in Gaza and Lebanon and called for a ceasefire in the widening Middle East conflict. Africa Bureau, WION World is One.
For all the latest news, download the WION app and subscribe to our YouTube channel.